Hello, my name is Nico Ortega, and I'm the editor-in-chief here at the Criterion at Colorado Mesa University. Due to COVID-19 outbreak here at CMU, we decided to push back the ASG elections to the fall semester. Now, because of the room restrictions that we have and limited number of resources, we decided to do a casual conversation with each candidate instead of our normal debate. So today I am joined here with Angel Bautista, who is running for ASG president. Angel, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So, quick question for you. How long have you been with Student Life?
So with Student Life, I've been involved for the past 2 years. My first year, I've been involved in the presidential cabinet. At that time, I was serving as the athletic representative. During that tenure, I served giving logistical updates, different record-breaking, and a lot of score updating to Student Life so they can accurately provide information to student leaders. Last year, I ran for student body vice president, and luckily I won, and I'm now serving as a student body vice president. I've had many good experiences and opportunities to really refine my leadership skills.
Okay, and this semester you're obviously running for president. What does the ASG president do?
So essentially the ASG president, in my perspective, is the overall face for CMU, whether that be in the Grand Junction community or whether it's going to the state capitol and fighting for first chance students or students who are not being recognized in other formulas for funding. And not only that, but they oversee all the student fees and represent all students.
Okay, nice. That sounds like a hard job. Why do you want to run for this position?
So essentially, my background, I'm from this area. I went to Junction High School down the road, and CMU has given me so many opportunities. I'm a first-gen student, so I'm going through uncharted territory every single day whenever I get new experiences. So CMU has always consistently opened doors and had helping hands and being able to give me opportunities to refine my leadership skills. This past year, I started thinking to myself, CMU is giving me so much. It's time for me to give back and be able to give other opportunities and other leadership skill positions to those who are coming after me to ensure that CMU is going to continue to be the forefronter leader for everything that we're doing academically, educationally, and athletically.
Oh, nice. What's your major?
So I'm currently pursuing a human resource management degree in the business department, and I also have a minor in political science.
Ooh, political science. So this is like the perfect place for you to be is ASG.
Oh, it's so much fun being able to analyze documents at a high critical thinking level while pulling in the interpersonal, charismatic communication skills I'm learning in the HR program.
Oh, perfect. Honestly, I think this role would suit you pretty nicely. I myself am a mass comm major. It's obviously why I work at a newspaper. And
right.
I also work at a radio station. And for scheduling, it's like hectic. What's yours like this semester?
So with scheduling, this semester is going to be one of the easiest ones I've had. I only have 12 credit hours, and a lot of those classes have been switched to online hybrid classes, mainly because of the COVID-19 pandemic that we're going through. So I have a lot of flexible time within my schedule to be able to accommodate for meeting schedules and everything along those lines.
So that would leave you enough time to do ASG and serve as the president?
Correct, yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, you said you were the vice president. So you work alongside right now with President Flores.
Correct.
So what would you do differently from him if you were elected?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a very good question. A lot of people look to the upcoming candidates and asking, what would you do differently? So under the tenure these past 2 years, I've been under President Flores' administration. Since he's been president for the past 2 years, I've noticed that he's been very strict and rigid when it comes to decision making, which is always necessary for a presidential, someone that's leading the school. A lot of the times when I see conversations happening is that it's always one decision and it's done. And in my opinion, a leader needs to be able to have a little bit more compassion with students to be able to understand where they're coming from, where their background is, why are they coming to Student Life or ASG or other organizations for whatever the concerns they may have. So in the event where I do win this position, I want to ensure that love and compassion is spread throughout these hard decisions.
You know, it's interesting that you mentioned that. So you have like the love and compassionate side, and he's like the strict decision-making side. So honestly, I think that would balance you two out like very nicely. Who did you choose as your running mate to help you balance out yourself if you are going to be the love and compassionate person?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that everyone needs to consider when they're going for big positions like this. And in my opinion, a leader is not truly a leader unless they know what they do not know. So what I have surrounded myself with is a candidate. His name is Daniel Haas. He is very involved with liberal arts, a lot of the campus safety and everything along those lines on campus. And he's a great person to run with because he has access to the students that I don't have access to, and being able to really represent and protect them. He is one of the leaders in the Sexual Assault Prevention Club, and that's something that I really want to focus on and bringing campus safety to an all-high new level for CMU.
Okay, nice. That's great. What are your biggest concerns with campus right now?
So the biggest concern with campus is, especially with COVID-19 going on, a lot of the times people forget about the online students that didn't come back. So I want to ensure that not just during this pandemic year, but for years after, that we always consider the students that are online, mainly because they do pay student fees, yet they don't see the everyday events that students see on campus, whether it be an event with PAC or an event with student life or an athletic games, everything along those lines. So that's something that I want to address fully, because those students are paying the fee, so they should get some sort of events on their behalf as well.
Okay. One of my biggest concerns as an org leader is this year is a biennial year, and that's like our 2-year budget planning for like the next 2 years. And I will not be here to see that, but hopefully I'm prepared enough to help everybody else out for the remainder of these next 2 years. And that's a big concern for me. As the president, how are you going to help with the biennial, and what's your procedure?
So with the biennial, it's a big beast that we see every 2 years. So within the presidential role, it's pretty much at this point, whenever the biennial begins, it's overseeing and ensuring that the process is following correctly. And there's a process that's been laid out for the foundation, and it's something that we're going to be following really strict and rigidly. And dealing with the biennial, we've already been talking to other orgs and other people who are going to be involved to ensure they know the process, they know how things are going to handle, how the meeting is going to be handled. We scheduled meeting times through student life and through the UC to ensure that we have adequate meeting times and to abide by CDC guidelines for COVID-19. So it's definitely a big thing that we want to focus on. And in the event where I do win presidency, I know student fees and costs of school is something that's always on a student's mind. So I want to do everything in my power to ensure that student fees stay as low as possible.
Okay, nice. Honestly, student fees staying low as possible would be an amazing thing.
Absolutely.
But besides this, what other big changes do you have as president that you would like to implement?
Yeah, absolutely. So something that I want to do with the school is, within this past year I've had through the administration, is we've always gone to the state capitol fighting for funding, fighting for first-gen students. And there's a lot of stuff that we did not complete due to the pandemic year. So within this next administration year, I want to do everything in my power to ensure that we continue to go back to the state capitol, continue to fight for more scholarship money for first-gen students, for minority students, everyone that needs assistance, that's going through uncharted territory, that they may not have support from their families since they are the first ones. So I want to ensure that resources are available, that we're representing our students academically in Colorado and academically nationally to ensure that CMU is the best it can be.
Okay, perfect. Angel, that was all the questions I had for you. Thank you for taking time out to come talk to me about all this.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.